I
If you
mean,
want videos, request and then watch them. Are you gonna watch them if they play music videos? Or are you gonna go to work?
me,
Yeah.
TiVo, hello.
Oh, you would TiVo them and
Oh
then
my
just play
god,
them
exact.
whenever.
That's what I did when I was a kid. I VHS taped them from like
Uh,
the time I was in school. Then I'd go back and rewind them and watch all for Madonna or whoever was on there I wanted to watch. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I would do.
But prior to him, when he was in the audience, just having a good time, he seemed very, he was smiling a lot, and he was, in the audience and just like when the weekend performed "Can't Feel My Face," they panned out to him like I don't know how many times, and he was out there dancing, and he was like really into it. I was like, okay, so Kanye's kind of, he's upbeat. It looks like he took a shit before he got there. And I said he just seems very just light and very just you know high spirited until he got his ass on stage. So
yeah.
yeah,
I honestly think he is that way in real life, and he kind of has this Kanye godlike persona.
Yes.
That's kind of like we were talking about last week, like a stage personality, like alter ego, and then like your real life persona. Because
Right.
he said before in interviews, like he doesn't like it when people say, "Oh, you're not that bad in real life," or "I didn't expect you to be so nice," or those kind of things. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
true.
well, I mean, do you blame them? I mean, if I were to see him for the
Well,
first
no,
time, I'd probably say the same thing too. Because I'm only every time I happen to see you on camera or in front of a camera, most of the time you're doing something,
Well, that's
you know.
perception is reality. So that is what people think he is because that's what
yeah.
they see. So
So,
yeah, absolutely. By the way, quickly, Jason Dotley apparently is listening to the show right now. Jason, I want to say hi. Thanks for listening, and wanted to say that he does a show called Life on the Gay List, which is going to be in Panama City on October 3rd at 8 p.m. in Cincinnati October 16th at 8 p.m. He was actually just in Dallas a few weeks ago. So, hi, Jason.
woohoo, Cincinnati,
Hello.
you rock!
Anyway,
Thanks for listening.
yeah. So speaking of Taylor Swift, I heard about this and the video. So
New video.
what do you guys want to say about that?
Okay, so Taylor Swift comes out with her premieres her brand new video at the VMAs, right? What's the song? What's the song? I just left my mind. But
Bad
and it's
Blood
set.
or no, not Bad Blood. What the fuck's it called?
It'll come back to me. Anyways, it's like a
Bre-
1950s Hollywood romance.
Wildest Dream? No.
Wildest Dreams,
Wildest
yes.
Dreams. Okay.
And it's set in Africa, like in the wilderness of Africa, and they're filming this movie. And then at the end of the video, it shows them in Hollywood at the red carpet of the movie. It's very like Liz and Dick,
Right.
like Elizabeth Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And Richard.
so yes, so they're having an affair on set, and it's this big whole thing. Well, everybody's issue with it is it's a beautiful video,
It
absolutely
is.
gorgeous. It's set in Africa, and we see a little bit of African culture, except there aren't any African people in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is supposed to
And
be. It is supposed to be the 1950s. So,
right, but
I mean, she's in Africa, not America. So,
right, I mean, I don't know what African culture was like in the 1950s, so I can't speak on it.
well, it depends. I'm just saying that if it is the 1950s, it's pretty fucking racist then anyway. So she's staying in keeping with the times. Just kidding. I don't know.
She's a method actress.
Yes, I don't know if it's required that she had black people from Africa in her video. I'm sorry. I don't think that that's the case, but what do you think?
I don't think that that's the case either. I just think people feel like she should have respected that culture since that she was showing the culture. You know what I mean? It's kind of like going to McDonald's but then not showing the hamburgers. I mean, I don't know.
Well, let's say she filmed in France and she didn't show any French people. Would French people be pissed off about that?
You tell me.
I'm not French. I don't know.
I mean,
I can
maybe, I don't
speak
know.
French, but I
I mean,
can't.
I don't mind because I understand the direction of the video. It is a beautiful video, and all the Africa shots are like in the wilderness in the jungle.
Yes.
Um,
But do you think?
so
Don't you think that people? I mean, just make a mountain out of molehill about shit. I mean, I don't really think it's a big deal.
well, I think so too, and especially with the whole whitewash thing that we have going on right now, just as a social issue in general. We're kind of looking for any little reason to
And
pick
that
at
is so
somebody.
true. It's like everything. Actually, there was just here in Texas where I live, unfortunately. Oh, you live here too. What am I saying? You bitches live here too. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah,
So
we all
you
live here.
you probably have heard of it. I'm so used to talking to people from elsewhere and not next door. Anyway, no, the cop, the cop who shot the guy who raised his hands and everything. Did you see that or not? No.
No.
Okay. Well, there was a couple of cops, one Hispanic, I think they're both Hispanic or something, or black. I don't know. Anyway, and the guy who got shot was white. Anyway, he threw up his hands and then they shot him. And so that's been another big thing about race lately and everything as well. So, but yeah, I'm just saying there's a climate right now where it doesn't matter what happens, it's like people just want to make a big deal out of anything. And so she didn't have black people in her video, and because it was in Africa, she's required to apparently, which is stupid, I think. I mean, because also look from anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Let's move on.
From an accurate standpoint, I understand.
Yeah.
But on the bright side of the video, I do think it is appropriate.
Stunning.
It's a beautiful video, but she says at the end of the video, there's a caption, and it says that all of the proceeds from the video are going to go towards the wildlife reserves to help endangered animals in those countries. So I think that's awesome.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Taylor Swift, for your humanitarianism. We love you.
She's like, I'm going to capitalize on this.
Exactly. And that's one more thing. That's another thing about it is that I honestly think that there are celebrities, and I think she's one of them, who actually does give a shit about causes. I think she really does have a bleeding heart, and she really is kind and all that stuff. But you also realize, as you just stated, that every time they do something, there's also another side of a benefit to it as well. They also get PR, publicity, and goodwill. So it's not like it's completely benevolent, but whatever.
Right, it's a win-win.
It is. Now, okay, so which one of you read about Janet Jackson?
Both of us.
I wanted to talk about this too. So tell me what you think.
Okay, so she launches her new tour the day before last, right? She does what, like 30-something songs. She looks gorgeous, except she's covered from head to toe, and she doesn't give us any costumes. Do you care? Do you not care?
Don't you think it's a little suspect that she's married to a Muslim and now she's covered from head to toe for the entire fucking tour?
Weren't her dancers covered from head to toe too?
I don't know.
I think so.
I feel like in the photos I saw, they were all wearing long sleeves and.
Unless she's trying to bring that kind of vibe into her show, but I would still think she would change. I mean, come on, it's Janet Jackson. She's a major superstar, and she does one outfit for the whole show. That's unheard of.
And she's known for she's putting on that show. You know what I mean? You go to Cher, so you can see costumes. You go to see Madonna, you know you're going to get
a show,
costumes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's just part of the gig.
That's what it's so bizarre. That's why I really do think that it has to do with her Muslim husband. What do you think?
I mean, if you look at the timeline, the last year and a half, 2 years when she was overseas, she was super hush hush. She wasn't really doing anything. So maybe they met in the middle, and he was like, "I'll let you go on tour, but
you need to cover that navel.
I'll let you do your pop star thing."
Jason, what do you think?
I saw the video, not the video, the photos online yesterday, I believe. And here's my thing is that, Janet's known for her costume changes, but if she happens just to have one costume the entire show, would it change my perception of going to see her? No. But I mean, it would just be like,
but it's
something that would be kind of like nice to see, but
it is awkward and weird. Don't you think it's out of
No,
character?
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it is different. I mean, but would I just be like, oh, I'm not gonna buy a ticket and go see her because of that? No, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, it's just a little different. I'll just kind of be like, well, no costume changes, I guess.
See, but I also think on the bright side of it is, in like, let's say an average, a pop star changes maybe 5 times in her show. That's a good.
I'd say twice that at least, but go on.
Yeah, I'm saying at least.
Okay.
That's a good 5. If they're not quick, a good 5-10 minutes for like video footage or dancers on stage. That's now
interludes. Yeah.
3 or 4 more songs that could be spliced and now performed.
Sure.
And she did perform 30 some odd songs. So, again, at the root of it, it's about the artistry. It's about the performance, not necessarily the costume aspect.
It's
Heck of
just
a
I think
setting. Because
I don't even think it's about that for most people. I think when they say disappointed, I think it's more about the fact that we had expectations because of who she is and how she's done things in the past, and that did not happen.
right, if I'm paying $120 to see this show, I want to see a show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like me going out there and I don't know, talking for 30 hours about shit and people like, what you gonna do something? I mean, do something. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'm just saying, just do something. It's like, I know she's singing and she's dancing, but I mean, you gotta ramp it up. It's a show, you know, put on a show.
Maybe they, after they hear a little bit of feedback, maybe they'll give us like a black latex bodysuit, and then she can give us like a cape and a belt,
Cape.
and then maybe it's like a magnet skirt that like has like a magnet.
Oh my
God!
God!
You know what I mean? Just something to add a little bit of
Yeah,
interest.
I think it would have been.
White.
I think it would have been cool if she had. I mean, also a little hokey, but it would have been cool if she would have like taken all of her songs and worn outfits from her videos from those songs, like Rhythm Nation, the black with the button up and then like Control. She's got the ponytail. I don't know. I just she should have done something, but she didn't have to just keep it all the same. You know what?
That's groundbreaking.
Yes, I know it is. I should be a tour producer. I know. Go on.
Right.
Anyway,
so are you still gonna go to the show though? I mean, you said you were interested in going, right?
Me or Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to go to the show. Unfortunately, it's exactly the same here in Dallas as when my Madonna tickets are in Atlanta, so I can't.
Okay.
So that sucks. Anyway, so what about the on-air shooting thing and the gay guy and all that? Let's talk about that. I watched this report on 2020, and I watched the whole story about him and everything, and I found it to be kind of, I don't know, just it's very disturbing. First of all, I did not watch the video, as I said last week. I don't want to see the video. But what did you guys think about this whole thing and the fact he's gay and how that plays into it and all that?
I think, well, the media, well, I'm not going to say the media. I believe just people in general tried to make it as a race issue.
Yeah.
And I personally do not think it was a race issue. I just think it was just a mental issue. I mean, he was going to, because he had a checker pass with employers and that type of thing. So I don't know how people are trying to. I guess because he's a black man, he shot two white people. Shot and killed two white people. People try to make it a race thing, but I'm like, it's not a race thing. It's just like a mental illness.
But I do think that I mean, I know what you're saying, but I also think that it possibly is related to both. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the things he said in his 20-page manifesto, whatever the fuck it was, or his letter or whatever, were about being black and being mistreated and being oppressed and all that kind of stuff. And that stuff is all very true and real. And I know over time that can really get to people. Now, you're either going to deal with it like most people do, or you're going to go nuts because you have mental illness. But I'm saying that I think that fed into all of his disenfranchisement from society and his always failing at things and the fact he was gay and hiding that for a long time and blah, blah, blah. So I think that does play into it, but I don't think it's the whole reason. I just think that's if you're mentally ill and you have those pressures as well, that doesn't help.
Well, see, I'm not really sure what to believe with this story as far as how it got to that point, because one story is saying that supposedly, these two, the reporter and the cameraman supposedly had, some type of issue with him and they went to HR and yada, yada, yada. But then I heard another story saying that they barely knew this guy. So with these two different stories, it kind of is like, okay, well then, which story is true? So it just kind of leaves a question mark in my head. But overall, I mean, it's a sad, sad situation. But as far as the story that led up to that, as far as, if he did know them, if he didn't know them, no one knows that but them, unfortunately, and all three of them are dead.
Right.
But it's just a really sad situation. It really is. I feel bad for everyone all the way around. So
it is. Okay. So, Kristen, you have anything else to say about this?
No, I mean, I don't, to be honest with you, this hits super close to home just because similar things like this have happened in my family's past. So I don't really like to put a lot of energy into these kind of stories that happen in the media just because it just has a bad effect on me. I just don't mess with it.
Okay, that's cool. What do you think about? There was an article I read actually about. It was actually what's her face? What the fuck's her name? Ellen Page saying it's borderline offensive to be called brave for playing a gay character when you're heterosexual. And I wonder what you guys thought about how almost every gay character played in the movies and on TV is played by a heterosexual person. Almost, not all, but almost. So what do you think about that?
I understand. I think if you were to say it's brave for a heterosexual person to play a homosexual person, I feel as far as career wise, because typically whenever you